Today we have two presentation. One is Professor Mrudula S. I would like to call upon Dr. Mrudula. Namaste.
Namaste, Didi.
I'd like to give a brief introduction.
Yes.
Professor Mrudula S. is working in Division of Electronics Engineering, School of Engineering, Cochin, University of Science and Technology, Kerala. She has been introduced to UHV FDP in August 2020. This is her second sharing. First time was in October 2022. She is engaging sessions in SIP and is a part of UHV cell in the university. So, Mrudula Didi, Namaste. You can please continue.
Yes. Thank you. Namaste to all. Good morning. I am Mridula from Cochin University. My husband, a sailing captain in the Merchant Navy, is now retired. We have two children. Our daughter Krishna and her husband Meher are structural engineers settled at Vancouver, Canada. We have a 2-year-old granddaughter, Ameya. Our son Rishi is in the UK. I'm the second among three sisters. My elder sister and family are in Calicut, North Kerala. We stay at walking distance from my parents' house where my younger sister and family live with my mother. I lost my father 20 years ago. My mother, an efficient homemaker, managed the home front while bringing us up in a very pious environment with daily evening namajapa and other religious practices. She is 84 years now and not doing good health wise. Hence, I make it a point to be with her as and when possible. I do realize that, unlike in the past, she now longs for someone to talk to and gets upset if I am unable to visit her or if I miss out on my daily routine phone calls. This is where I recognize the needs of herself, despite our efforts to provide her with all necessary physical facilities. I have learned the art of graceful acceptance from her. Despite her difficulties, she maintains a very pleasant demeanor without causing trouble to anyone, putting up with the whims and fancies of her home nurse and the maid. My father, a much respected general surgeon, was an avid reader, and I would see books on philosophy and spirituality along with his surgical journals on his consultation table. He used to subscribe to the Bhavan's Journal and the Reader's Digest. I remember him marking articles for me to read before leaving to the hospital, and in the evening he would ask me to give my understanding. My maternal family has a strong spiritual lineage, and I remember visiting the Sri Ramakrishna Mission Ashram at Kaladi with my parents. The chief of the mutt used to give us books published by the ashram, and my grandmother encouraged us to read these books and also to learn the shlokas from the Gita during our summer vacation. Perhaps the seeds were sown early in me, and it's taking time to sprout, as Sharmiladi puts it. My mother in law, with whom I had a warm relationship, passed away 3 years ago. I share a very cordial relation with my sisters in law. We spend our Sundays with them without fail. I have attended classes in TM, yoga, art of living. However, the practices would never sustain. The initial enthusiasm would wane off fast. Nevertheless, I would return to these whenever I felt low. My journey inward started in 2015, about 10 years ago, when I attended a program on self awareness. I could relate well to the contents and went on to do the program again. I also attended a residential program at IIT Madras on self awareness. I am also part of the self awareness group of IIT Madras ever since, where I attend the weekly online sessions whenever possible. I have also attended a program on human values conducted by CHDHC Hyderabad. My UHV journey started in August 2020 when I attended the introductory UHV workshop. I then attended the Refresher 1 Part 1 in February 2021 and Part 2 in January 2022. The voices of Vanchana Di, Sharmila Di, and Kumar Bhaiya still resonate within me. I have also attended the face-to-face UHV 2 FDP at Mar Baselius College of Engineering and Technology, Trivandrum in August 2022, where Umesh Bhaiya was a resource person. UHV, with its unique vocabulary, meticulously planned and structured course content, and abundant online resources, helped me to experientially validate my understanding and stay focused. The morning sessions helped me start my day on a positive note, fully charged. I had attended the morning sessions during 2022 and have done my sharing once. During my tenure as Chairman Board of Studies in ECEEE of Faculty of Engineering of our university, I could play a role in introducing UHV2 into the curriculum in the fourth semester as a three-credit course with the support of Sunil Bhaiya, Deepa Didi and Lata Didi. I had the opportunity to interact with first year students while engaging sessions for them during their SIP in 2023. Also, I had taught an open elective course on UHV for the 7th semester students twice, 2 consecutive years in 2022 and 2023. The feedback from the students was very encouraging. But my UHV practices took a back seat thereafter because I was caught up with my responsibilities at home. It's been almost 3 years now, which I regret. I joined this morning session a bit late by end September while I was recuperating after a major surgery. The sessions by Sharmila Didi helped me a lot in overcoming the trauma post surgery. It made me realize that I need to put in more effort to refresh the contents, stay focused, and move forward. I realized that the morning exercises are intended to help me develop right understanding and purify my accumulated feelings and thoughts, thus redefining my sanskar. By doing these exercises sincerely, I expect to develop in the self right understanding of the existential reality, right feelings on relationship, harmony, and coexistence, and the competence for right living. Let me share my reflection on the exercises. In exercise 1, observing the self by the self every moment. While doing this, I realized that activities are going on continuously in the B2 block at an alarming rate. However, I tend to focus more on my feelings during the observation. I am more comfortable doing that. I am mostly able to catch myself whenever the feeling within me is not naturally acceptable or causing discomfort, or I don't want to continue with it. I know I'm responsible for the feeling within, and I need to ensure relationship harmony and coexistence to be in the state of happiness or harmony in continuity. The UHV practices have helped me to install a compass within, pulling me back on track, as we call in engineering terminology a closed loop feedback system. If I am in disharmony, I need to check on my level of right understanding and try to get rid of assumptions, if any. We need to take responsibility and have commitment in a relationship. Having all the 9 feelings within and sharing them with the other is the key to mutual fulfillment in relationships. I do realize that ensuring these feelings within me is essential before attempting to improve the competence of the other. Equally important is the patrada or the receptiveness of the other person. There is no point trying to change our behavior without working on our understanding and thoughts. There is always an honest attempt from my side to see the other as similar to me and to bring in complementarity in the relationship so that right evaluation happens. If I feel opposition to the other, I make effort to focus on his or her good qualities, resisting my sanskar to over evaluate myself, boosting my ego. I rarely experience disharmony at my workplace simply because there is no feeling of competition within. I'm on the verge of retirement, but I need to put in more effort in the home front. Though my reaction externally is reduced a lot, I can feel that I do react internally. This is a sanskar I sincerely want to get rid of. I know my happiness is my responsibility. I'm a very analytic person by nature, always trying to judge others internally based on my preconditions. Instead, now I try to redefine this sanskar by looking at myself. At the end of the day, I ask myself, Mridula, were you a good girl today? Did you feel angry with anyone? As my mentor says, I know when I am in the box and I help myself to come out of the box. I do get carried away with offers on online platforms, but nowadays I do not shop impulsively. However, things do fall into my carts, which stays there for a few days and then I delete my cart. Coming to exercise 2, observing the self, the body, and the interaction between the self and body in the space by the self. Being exposed to self awareness practices, I can distinctly see myself and my body as separate units, and that I'm in control of my body and I use my body as an instrument as and when I require. I decide what to see, to do, and to enjoy. I am the seer, doer, and enjoyer. I'm able to see that the interactions between myself and my body take place through the space in between, in the form of sensations from the body to the self and instructions to the body from the self. The source of sensation could be the behavior of a person, an external event, or events happening in the body. I associate meaning to the sensation depending on my sanskar, and I respond if my sanskar is based on right understanding. Else, I react. My living outside is thus an outcome of my clarity within. I can be self organized or enslaved depending on my sanskar. Let me give an experiential validation of my view on self and body. Despite my daily exercise routine and mindful eating habits, I had to undergo a joint replacement surgery recently due to severe joint degradation. Looking back, my body was giving me signals, and I did my best to nurture, protect, and rightly utilize my body, doing regular yoga and physiotherapy exercises. But finally, I had to give up when even a month long Ayurveda treatment failed to help me. Surgery was the last resort when my functionality was severely affected and I had to depend on others for my daily routine. During the surgery, I was aware of the entire happening, and my poor body was recognizing and fulfilling its duty. I still try talking to my body, believing that the cells listen to me. As Louis Hay says, you can heal your life. But sometimes when I read sensations from my body, I tend to give meaning to it and react. For example, when I feel a pain or discomfort near my surgical wound, I get worked up imagining the worst. I then talk to myself. I practice affirmations and breathing to calm me down. I'm putting in my best to do the rehab exercises as prescribed. I try to put my mind to my muscle and focus, as my trainer used to say. What better example do we need for a self body interaction? Regarding my commitment to UHV, I'm part of the University UHV cell. I have not done any volunteering so far because of my family responsibilities. As for now, I have to take care of my body and get back to normal. Teaching is my passion. Once I have developed sufficient clarity of the contents, I would love to be a resource person. I do not preach UHV to others, rather, I focus on myself. I leave it to the others to see the change in me, if at all. Had UHV happened earlier, my parenting would have been certainly different. Perhaps my grandparenting will. My gratitude to all who are working with dedication for this noble cause. I thank Sharmila Didi from the bottom of my heart for helping me come out of my situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mriduladi, and wish you early recovery.
Thank you.
We have K. Ajay Kumar Bhaiya. Namaste. Your hand is raised.
Good morning, Didi. Good morning to all co-explorers. I am very happy, Didi, when I was when I am hearing your exploration. Most excited. In that excitement, one of the reason is, I think you may Telugu people. I think, is it, Didi?
No. I'm from Kerala. I'm a Malayali.
Okay. How did you join in CHDSC in AP? AP, we are running CHDSC since
Yes, sir.
2020.
That was I think after the UHV introductory workshop. It was COVID period, and we had pretty nothing much to do. So the contents really related to me then, and I just joined voluntarily.
Okay, Didi. Okay. What I thought, in my desire, I decided you are Telugu people, and I want to listen carefully. This is the self exploration. What I am telling is the self exploration. And I, in my imagination, I make some excitements.
Okay.
Understood what those are excitements are. Didi is very related to the doctor's family, and she knows well about body and this thing. I may ask Telugu because why? Because I am telling, I may not express my feelings in English, so that much of inner core. What I thought, I like your exploration. I like your exploration and your backgrounds and everything. All those excitements happened in me. What we think this is happiness, we think, but I learned from this is human. I learned from this subject. All those are not happiness. But that is also some subject I will explore when my turn comes. Okay, like that I explored, and I excited so much, but I felt disharmony. Not disharmony. I always catch myself like this. I don't disappoint because I myself excited with wrong assumptions. Understood what I am telling all explorers? Please observe this point. Thank you, Didi. I am very happy you are sharing. Very keenly you are observing yourself. I too do like that. That's why I am very happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We have Sham Kantja Bhaiya. Namaste.
Namaste. I liked, I think, sharing of Didi very much. Just I wanted to ask her, Didi, that whether she recuperated completely or still she is recuperating, and how is feeling after her surgery operation. Because this kind of problems are being faced by many, including me also. I think in future I will have also this kind of problem. So just for consolation from her and experience, I want her to share what is she feeling now. Is she completely cured?
Sir, I just completed 3 months after the surgery yesterday, and I've joined back work after 2 months. So I have started taking it slowly, I have requested my department to allot me a faculty room and my classrooms downstairs. And I have the full support of my colleagues in the department. And here at home, only me and my husband are there, and he's so very caring and supportive. Because of the people around me, I've been able to recuperate well. Post surgery for 1 month. In fact, my family is full of doctors. My sister and family are they are all doctors, and so she took the entire responsibility of taking care of me after the surgery. So I had gone to Calicut to do the surgery, in spite of having very good hospitals here in Cochin. And I was there with her for 1 month. She made all arrangements to take care of me. And I traveled back to Cochin, and then slowly, I'm starting. So the thing is, I have to spend at least 2 hours on myself, doing the exercises, doing the daily morning walk without fail, because I know my joint has to be mobilized, and that's what I've been told by the doctor. So, sir, it's a slow journey and graceful acceptance, as I always believe. I mean, nothing else we can do about all this. So we can talk about. Yesterday, I was overhearing another explorer talking about his. Routine, like taking care of the body and nurture. I mean, we can talk about all this when things are all fine, but then it all depends on how well we can take it when things go wrong. And from my experience, all my practices just failed when things went wrong. I just didn't know what was happening. It was like somebody else was controlling my life. And I was always scared of doing the surgery because my mother is living with post surgical complications. Though my father was a surgeon himself, like. So we had done my mother's surgery after my father passed away. So then surgery was always a big scare for me. But then, and I was always into holistic treatment, alternate methods, Ayurveda, yoga. But I mean, all these practices just didn't help me. I'm not blaming any system. Perhaps my joint had degraded so fast. So yes, sir, like we have to face the situation and come out of it. So please don't expect something to happen to you. I mean, things will not go wrong like that. But if it goes wrong, then we have to take it. And yeah, I'm so very thankful to Sharmila Didi. I am thanking her once again because I was feeling so low after the surgery, staying all alone. Though there were people to take care of me, my sister and husband being doctors, they would leave early in the morning and come back early at night. So practically, I was all alone during the day, just doing my monotonous exercises, counting one, two, three, etc. Life was so very so monotonous for me, and that is when I thought I have to come out of this. That's when, and luckily for me, the English sessions were shifted to 6:30 because I was finding it difficult to wake up even at 6:30 because of my surgical after my surgical state. So then the things worked perfectly for me, and yes, thank you so much.
May, may God cure you soon, madam. I hope so. Thank you very much for your sharing, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Now I call upon Sharmila Didi. Namaste.
जी नमस्ते अनीता जी, नमस्ते मृदुला जी.
Namaste, Didi. Namaste.
Very nice to hear your sharing. I don't believe I have heard your sharing before, but it was very crisp, nice, and very honest, sincere sharing. And I thought very relevant about how, we have all this information about self and body and being distinct realities and all of that. But when situations come where there is a problem with the body, a lot of times the best of us may not be able to take it or have a problem facing that. But like you rightly said, acceptance is the key. And this fact that what comes before us is our destiny today, that you cannot change, what is already there. But you have the free will to face it with the best of, with the right feeling and behavior, thoughts and behavior. And that will decide your destiny, your future destiny. So this free will and destiny, that plays a very important role. And I'm not just saying this for you, I'm saying for all of us. And I think this very important factor of acceptance, which you were able to see, has helped you come out of this. And I'm sure that in your subsequent journey, also in your future explorations, also, this will be very useful, very helpful. It is true that these things take time and you need to take care of the body and get well. And I'm sure that after this, you, in your own time, in whatever way possible, will be participating in the UHV activities in some form or the other. And whether it be doing resource work, whether it be staying close to the content, I can see that you have a very good command over the language, and you would be a real asset in the, say, the magazine editing, those kind of tasks. So all the very best to you for future exploration also, and wherever you can participate. Best wishes to you.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you very much. I will. Yes.
Yes. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much.